Now, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love experimental films. When a director can take a script and transform it into something truly unique and interesting to experience, it is always a treat. And honestly, there's a lot of them out there. You've got Boyhood, directed by Richard Linklater, a movie filmed over 12 years. Then there's Tangerine, directed by Sean Baker, a film shot entirely on an iPhone 5S. 2001: A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick, pushed the boundaries of what a science fiction movie could truly be. And there's My Son, directed by Christian Carrion, a 2021 film where James McAvoy was never given a script and basically learns about the plot as you, the viewer, do. All of these films do something new, something interesting. While you might say they aren't all good films, they're still fresh and exciting. There's one more experimental tactic though, the one-shot film. Sam Mendes' latest film, 1917, creates an experience in one single unbroken shot, or so it seems. The film was actually created with several longer takes and some fantastic editing. This is the same for Rope, directed by Hitchcock, and Birdman, directed by Hironobu. They all appear to be one unbroken take, but are actually several shots which were meticulously put together. Let me introduce you to something new. Victoria is a 2015 film directed by Sebastian Schipper. Here's the basic synopsis. A young Spanish woman who has newly moved to Berlin finds her flirtation with a local guy turned potentially deadly as their night out with his friends reveals a dangerous secret. If this sounded normal to you, then yeah, you'd be right. It's not until you figure out that this film did something completely new and interesting that your interest is piqued. It was filmed in one take. No gimmicks, no editing, one single 138-minute long take. This wasn't the only plan, however. Before filming Victoria in one singular take, director Sebastian Schipper promised to deliver a version using traditional shot cutting as plan B if he couldn't achieve the final product in a true single take. This was the only way he could get financiers on board. The jump cut version was filmed first, and over the course of 10 days was completed. This was done so that just in case the long take didn't work, he still had a film to show for. With that, he set out to achieve the one take, but after shooting for the previous version, the production was running out of budget. There was only enough for 3 chances. The cast and crew would have to get the film right with only 3 chances. The single shot would be achieved by sending a cameraman and a sound guy along with the cast as they meandered around lots, rooftops, clubs, and stores while the director stayed close behind. They would film from 4:30 in the morning to 7. Schipper cut the script to 12 pages long, leaving nearly 100% of the dialogue to be completely improvised. It wasn't until much later that Schipper learned that several crew members hadn't even read the 12 pages.
I didn't get it, and only later did I learn he's the guy who would never open up his emails and never, we printed it out. I think he did this film without even reading the 12 pages.
Is this Boxer?
Yeah, Franz.
I didn't read
You didn't read it either?
the 12 pages.
See, I put all this love and work into my 12 pages, and they don't. No, but that's the great thing.
Are you serious?
Completely serious.
But now, 3 months of rehearsals had led up to this moment. Day 1. Director Sebastian Schipper compared the first shoot to a soccer game that ends with a tie of 0-0, a game that leaves you very unsatisfied. He told his crew that the entertainment just wasn't there. The actors were playing it too safe in fear that they would mess it up. Day 2. To minimize the actors playing it safe, Schipper told them that they shouldn't be afraid of chaos and mistakes. Lead actress Lea Costa claims that this second take was her favorite of the 3. Schipper said in an interview that just because the film was improvisation didn't mean that there weren't some strict rules. He compared the second take to free jazz, where everyone's playing along with each other, and although it's improvisation, it still sounds good until the guy playing the saxophone whips out a Fender and starts playing Van Halen. The actors just went too far and broke the rules of the take.
Crazy. It was totally out of proportion and going crazy on many levels that was not productive.
Day 3. There was just enough money for one last take. At this point, the editing had been finished on the jump cut version that they had shot beforehand. Schipper watched the version and immediately knew that it would not work. This version was flat and didn't convey what he wanted. Sebastian Schipper claimed that the next 48 hours were the worst 48 hours of his life trying to create something. He told his crew that they had one last shot. This time, no being lame, but no being crazy. He knew that his cast had it in them to do something amazing. and to his delight, they pulled it off. One take. He had achieved what he had set out to do. Normally, on a set, the director will micromanage everything. From tiny set pieces to little movements in the actors, the director has the final say in each little piece of dialogue and story. Schipper compared this film to him being the coach and the cast being the players. He could give them the game plan ahead of time and instruct them on what to do, but each play they were calling was their own. He didn't want them to feel too bogged down by certain dialogue and even instituted a rule that they couldn't reuse any lines that they had used in previous takes. He didn't want to detail every little thing and decided that the heart and soul of the performance should speak for themselves, even over his direction. The cast and crew could prepare for weeks and months, but once the camera started to roll those 3 times, the film was completely in the actors' hands.